Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2024 GMC Canyon. This is the AT4X with the AEV Special Edition package. It's finished off in sterling metallic with an MSRP just over $67,000. We have a lot to go over for this very capable mid-size truck. So let's start off with what this is powered by. This is the 2.7 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. It's paired to the 8-speed automatic, and it pumps out 310 horsepower, 430 pound-feet of torque sent to those rear wheels. However, this truck has the 4-wheel drive system. It weighs in right around 4,900 pounds. 0 to 60 is going to be 6.5 seconds. And as far as fuel economy goes, you're looking right around 18 miles per gallon on average with these larger tires. Now let's talk about what the AEV package includes. You get a set of steel bumpers, so front and rear. There's also the fender flares, 35-inch tires from the factory, along with the 17-inch wheels, rock sliders, multiple skid plates underneath. You have the full-size spare as well. And then you even get some power outlets in the bed, as well as the floor liners, and then all of the badging, of course. This also has about 11 inches of ground clearance as well. We took this truck off the pavement, so take a look at that separate review to see how well this does in the dirt. Now, coming back to the front end, you'll notice GMC spelled out very large, forward-facing camera to give you added visibility. There's also a really nice design for this boxy grille with all of these brushed accents that run throughout it. This gets a set of LED headlights, DRLs and turn signals, LED fog lights. There's also red tow hooks along with the skid plate up underneath, and then some really nice lines that come down the hood. Now this also has a pretty good approach angle, and you can also see a little bit of that multimatic suspension, which provides us with a really nice on-road and off-road drive. And then we have wheels, tires, fender arches, like I mentioned. There's also gloss black for the mirror caps, along with a camera system. There's also 2 additional cameras underneath, so that gives you even more visibility while you are taking this off the pavement. This truck is considered the crew cab, so we have the full 4 doors, as well as the short box for this specific truck. There's the high clearance exhaust on that passenger side. This can even tow right around 7,700 pounds. We have sensors in that bumper as well, taillights on both sides. This does have another camera here and the locking tailgate, which also has the soft open. Now this tailgate also has a little bit of storage, so it's nice to see that you can open this up and place in tow straps or anything small that you may have. There's also tie-down hooks, as well as that power outlet and full-size spare for this particular package. There's also remote start, so you can start this up as needed. And then as we work our way to the interior, we have a nice design for the door panel with the black and white, along with all of the red stitching, a little bit of storage in that lower section. And then you do get some storage underneath. You need 2 hands in order to pop both sides up, or you can place some additional items as needed. There's no storage behind these seats, so it's nice that you do have a little bit there. Now you do have a grab handle up top. You can use that along with the rock slider there to help get into this. We're at 5'10". I have a good amount of space. There's storage pockets. There's also cup holders. You get vents as well as some auxiliaries. I have about 1 inch or so of headroom, so I'm pretty comfortable in the back. You have an armrest and cup holders. Now I do wish for the money this was automatic and not manual, but you do have it nonetheless. Pretty easy to get out to. And then the door panel up front is just like the rear. There's memory seating adjustments, your window, side mirror controls, and you do get a little bit of extra storage right in the middle there. Now this has power operating front seats with the AEV logo, as well as AT4X. Very nice seats throughout the interior. Now there is no grab handle for your driver, so you can use the steering wheel. It would be nice to see one located on this pillar. But let's start this up and go over the rest of this tech, where this has volume and tuning on the back side of the steering wheel. There's your cruise and distance pacing. You have Bluetooth, voice commands, along with heated steering wheel, music, and this control here to go through the different layouts. So these aren't configurable, but it is nice that you have multiple pages to go through depending on what you would like to see for the day. So you can quickly adjust all of this, even pull up that nav there, which I think is great. It would be nice if they were a little bit more configurable, but I do like the amount of info that you get. Now there's a trailer braking system, you have a dimmer switch, red accents as well. There's a head-up display, Bose audio, and then for the infotainment system, you do have a lot of apps that you can go through. You even have a lot of camera angles that you can go through as needed. A few of these are a bit dirty from taking it off-road, but you have the undercarriage cameras, and then you can get into more of your normal view here, depending on what you would like to see. There's also the air down mode, so that way you can use the horn of the vehicle to let you know when you've reached that desired PSI. And you do have a few different pages here for off-road, depending on what you'd like to see. You also have a split screen here. You can quickly get into your music, your navigation, your phone, and if you click on the truck itself, this is how you can get into the downhill assist. You have your traction control, headlight adjustments, you can get into your fog lights here. Pretty easy system to use, and I like the fact that we have a user-friendly touchscreen system with a user-friendly physical button system underneath that. So this is for all of your climates, your heated and ventilated seats. You have temperature dials as well. Really nice layout. There's also power and volume for your audio. 2 air vents are underneath that. We have a rear locker, front and rear. The engine start stop, hazards, lane keeping assist, auxiliary for all of the power, and then you have a control to put all of the windows down at once. There's wireless charging, and then we have reverse where you can pull up that camera. There's also drive and a low range gear. Now you have all your 4-wheel drive selectors, and then if you rotate that dial, this is how you can go through the different driving modes. So we have some on-road, we have some towing, and we have some off-road settings, just depending on what you are doing for the day and the mode that corresponds with that. There's the e-brake, a little bit of storage. You have storage in the armrest as well as in the glove box. Now I do wish that this particular model came with the digital rear view, because that tire takes up pretty much all of this, rendering this a little bit on the useless side. But of course you have your side mirrors there too. And then we have controls for that sunroof. Sunshade is manual adjusting. And then here's a look at the overall visibility for this particular model. But now let's go ahead and get this out on the road. And with a mild acceleration, here we go. We're up to speed. I will say the amount of torque that this truck has definitely gives you a lot more of that low end power that you need. So you don't necessarily have to give this truck, it doesn't feel like it's stressing out as much as a lot of people talk about with a 4-cylinder engine, especially going off the pavement. We were around 2,000 to 2,300 for the RPM range. Going off-road in even my 3rd gen Tacoma with the V6, we would get up to 3,500, even 4,000, just because it didn't have the proper torque to be in situations like that. So with the smaller engine, we have a lot more torque, low end speed situations, and then obviously getting up to speed, it is going to help significantly. So I think the power is there. The turbo is great to have for this with that added torque. And I don't see any issues with it. Only time will tell, but turbo engines have been around in sports cars for decades. So it's not new technology, it's just new for some of the truck platforms. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the AT4X. Very nice interior, I will say, with some of these materials here. So in lower trim levels, obviously you aren't going to get that. So if you want the interior like this, obviously you have to go with this truck if you want it factory and you don't want to do anything aftermarket yourself. But it's a great truck. What you are buying is all the performance, all of the technology, all of the capabilities with this truck. So yes, it's not a full-size truck, but when you look at the market today, new for new, if you want a well-equipped GMC like 1500 ATX4, something of that, you are going to be spending $90,000, $100,000 on those trucks. So I mean, 70 grand is still 70 grand. It's not like it was years ago when you could get full-size trucks for even less than that. So it's the way the market is going. Unfortunately, that's what we are seeing in today's world. So 70 grand, obviously you can get a mid-size truck for much less, but if you want a well-equipped, off-road focused and ready pickup, it is a good option to go with. I think it has a good amount of space too. I haven't had much seat time in the back seats, but it seems pretty adequate for the mid-size platform and what you would be using them for, of course. That is going to wrap it up though for the 2024 GMC Canyon AT4X. Once again, check out our off-roading content as well to see how well this truck does off the pavement, as today we were on the pavement, of course. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.